Cool. So we'll move on to Bethany. She says, on a limited budget, what would you advise as the first things to prioritise when spending money? Good question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. And whether this is a band or business, it's very, very similar. A similar answer. I think when you've got a limited budget and you have to prioritize because everyone's got a small budget, but at the same point, no one has much budget when they're musicians, especially. But even when you start a business, unless you've been given £1 million to start the business and you can go to town on it, I think the most important things for me is the first impressions, and it is answering the most important question. And the most important question for any branding, any marketing, or any sales is very simple. Who are you? That question is something that people should be thinking about every day. Who are you? And therefore people can then see what you are, see what you do, and relate to you and want to be a part of your journey. If you can answer that question, and so the next thing is what you spend money on is answering that question. So I want to visually see who you are. So therefore, I would prioritize a really good photo shoot. I think a really good photo shoot is something that as soon as you press enter and your page pops up, that's the first thing that your eye's going to see is a photo. They're going to go, oh, I see, I get it. So it's not just going to be some artwork that they just think, okay, so I have to hunt around to see who you are. I want it instant. I want someone to say, you've never heard of this band before, go and check them out. And they click on your Facebook, they click on your YouTube, and they see a picture and they just go, I know who you are, that's fantastic. So I think that answers the question. Picture, who are you? Then after that, if you're a musician or if you're a business, the product. The product's next important. So the product is, what do you sound like? Or what do you do? What is it that I'm going to actually latch onto? If you're a musician, it's the music. If you're a business, it's your actual product. But what is it that you do? So for bands and musicians and solo artists, you need the music. You need the thing. If you make cakes, you need to have some cakes. You can't just say, I make cakes. Because people are going to go, can I see any of your cakes? So all of a sudden, you need the product. And visually or audio-wise in the case of musicians, but what is the product? And so if you're a band, I would prioritize after that the music. These two things go hand in hand. The music of going in somewhere and actually recording your music or recording it for free for yourself in your own home studio is fine, but I would prioritize making sure it's as good as it possibly can be. We live in a society of all the times where I just say, it's the greatest time in the world, it's fantastic. There are certain things which is because of the noise, people want everything to be a bit more polished than it once was. So you can't just sit there with a mobile phone in the dark singing a song because people will just switch off and go on to find someone else. So, there are plenty of studios around which don't cost that much money that you'll be spending between 120 and 150, maybe 200 quid a day for a really good studio. And even if you just have one recorded song, which is everything that sums up your music, and that one song is one of the first things that people hear and see when they get there, because you can make a video for free, then that would be the second thing I would produce. So for me, those things of making the content is more importantly than pushing the content. And that's, that's very, very an interesting thing where if you're going to make the content, creativity is key. The more creative you can be when you're pushing the content. But let's actually make the content and see what gets shared first, see what people like. And then after that, that's when we can start looking at advertising and marketing and all that kind of stuff. So product always comes first. So for me, I'd be looking at, if I was starting a band, answering that question, who are you? I'd be looking at pictures, I'd be looking at demos and audio, and then I'd probably be looking at videos as well.
So product and identity, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. Who are you? Answer that question, who are you?